You're watching CIO News. I'm Simran Shiwalkar, a journalist at CIO News and your host for today. This session is being recorded and it will be available on our website cionews.co.in, on our YouTube channel and our LinkedIn handle as well. Today we are back with yet another episode from our exclusive series called CTO Unplugged. Today we have with us Mr. Hani Khalaf, who is the Chief Technology Officer at Dell Technologies for Data and AI Solutions. With over 28 years of experience in navigating complex global and high-tech environments, Mr. Khalaf is a seasoned business development professional leading the charge in artificial intelligence and Gen AI solutions across the Central Eastern Europe, Middle East, Turkey, and Africa, the C-META region. I'm sure he's all set to bring in his unique perspective and his insights in today's episode. Mr. Khalaf, thank you so much for being a part of this series and joining us today.
Thank you very much. It's an absolute pleasure to be with you.
Fantastic. With that, I would love to hear about your journey. It's an experience of more than a decade now. Can you share a bit about your current role as CTO at Dell, particularly when it comes to data and AI solutions?
Sure. So starting from the beginning, I'm actually an electrical engineer. So engineering, this is from 1996. That's when I started. And I did hands-on work for a few years, about 10 years, which I believe is very important for somebody in a technical field, whether you are somebody studying engineering or computer science. It's very important to do some hands-on work to really understand your field. Then I moved into the IoT domain back in 2012 and smart cities. That's when these concepts start to evolve. Spent 10 years in that domain, and about 2 years ago, I decided to pivot my career actually into the AI area. Reason for that is technology is changing so fast, and you have to keep changing, learning, and looking at what's ahead and change accordingly. In my current role today in Dell Technologies as a field CTO for data and AI solutions, what I do is I do the business development for these solutions, obviously with our customers. I discuss this technology with our customers, what it means, what is AI, what is generative AI, why it's important for the organization, what kind of business outcomes you can achieve with AI, and guide them through the journey of going, from starting from data and achieving the business outcomes. So an AI and Gen AI journey is a long journey. It's a complex journey. And my role is to simplify this and bring it, in a simple way to our customers.
Fantastic. And thank you so much for taking us through this journey of yours. But like you said, you have a background in electrical engineering. That is how you began this journey. I'm interested to know, if it weren't for the tech space, what else do you imagine or do you think you would be doing as? And now that you have transitioned into, into the role of CTO, why particularly AI?
Okay. So recently, in the past, I would say 10, 15 years, the importance of data has grown a lot. The amount of data that's being generated around us is huge. Now, coming from the last 10 years from the IoT and smart cities domain, which is a very data-rich domain, I thought the next logical thing for me is to study and pivot into the area which studies this data and uses that data. So IoT is about data. It generates outcomes for organization. Smart cities, again, it's about data. Data is the most valuable asset of a city, if we think about it. So to me, that was the logical transition. Of course, there are other areas like cybersecurity, Web3, robotics, drones. These are all of interest, and if I would go back, and study, I would choose one of these. If I had to foresee the future, I would have chosen one of these domains to study.
Great, and thank you so much for sharing as to why and what led you to AI. I'm sure, like you already said, technology is always evolving, and AI is going to be the talk of the town for a very long period of time. I think that's the only truth here.
Correct. AI is here to stay. Of course, AI has been with us for 50 years. It's not new to us, as humans, but it had its own winters, let's say, where, quiet periods. That's what we call traditional AI, the, machine learning, even deep learning when it appeared around 2010. So we call this in a way traditional, although there is nothing traditional about it. It's still very powerful and it's all around us. What brought AI back into the spotlight is the release of ChatGPT in November 2022. And that's where all started again. And I personally believe there will not be another winter for AI. It's here to stay, grow, simply because generative AI is a pivotal moment in AI. It's they even describe it as the iPhone moment, like in smartphone. So it's gonna change the industry, it's gonna change the world, it's gonna change the world, the way we live, we work, everything around us.
Along the same lines, I'm also interested in knowing from you, how can organizations be ready for this AI revolution? How can they ramp up their processes when it comes to driving businesses?
It's a very good question. Many things actually organizations can do. First thing is to embrace AI with open minds. Accept the technology, that it is here to stay and it will be touching every industry. Be ready for the journey, start the journey even on a small scale, test and experiment with this technology, because if you are not doing it, one of your competitors is doing it, and eventually everybody has to follow. Make sure you become a data-driven organization, an organization that makes decisions on data, because data is the fuel for AI. So make sure to embed data in the culture of the organization. Look at data as an asset for the organization that can enhance, decision-making in the organization. Start the data journey, and again, don't be afraid to start, because the technology is evolving very fast. So there are chances that you will test something, test and fail, and then you will succeed.
But you also said that when it comes to AI and emerging technologies, one needs to have an open mind. So would it be
Correct.
safe to say that these technologies like AI is not here to replace the human work or replace the human jobs, but enhance more than replacing humans?
Correct. Today, AI is a tool, again, that is used in the organization to, we say, augment the human, make us work more efficiently. Even at Dell Technology, we say human and machine partnership. So, the machine, AI, or whatever the machine is, and the human working together. And there's lots of use cases and, applications where this is happening, especially in decision making, making better decisions in the organization based on AI, using AI in productivity as a worker today. Let's say you are a worker, you want to create some slides about some quality assurance in a domain. You can simply go to a tool today and use this and do it online efficiently, create the slides, the content. Something that used to take maybe 2-3 days to create now can be created in 60 seconds. So as humans, we need to all embrace AI and use it in our life, because as I usually say in my presentations, humans with AI will replace humans without AI.
You rightly said so. And thank you so much for sharing your insights on that. Next, I also want to hear it from you. You're leading the charge in the global regions, the C-Meta region. How do you think technology or the role of technology is evolving in these regions, especially when it comes to the markets in Middle East, Turkey, and Africa? What opportunities do you think, when it comes to businesses and the development of driving digital growth?
So our region actually is experiencing huge growth when it comes to technology adoption. We are a region that is, I would say, technology hungry. We love technology. We'd like to use it. We'd like to be, what I like about our region is that we like to be pioneers in embracing technologies. Governments here are not afraid to try new technology, put it in production, test it, and if it works, scale it. And if it doesn't, just put it on the shelf and move on to the next thing. That's why we're seeing lots of investments in AI technology, in generative AI technology, not just by using it, but also by creating original content in the region. For example, like in the United Arab Emirates, where the LLMs, large language models like Falcon, and the Arabic large language model like JACE were created here from scratch. So this is very important. So the region realizes the importance of this technology and wants to have its footprint on the global map.
Fantastic, because when you say that the regions are craving for technology and its emerging role, I think that's great to hear, because technology in these regions would be more than an opportunity than a challenge or an obstacle. So that would be safer to assume so, I believe.
That's very true. Yes.
Finally, I would also want to hear from you, with your extensive experience in tech and business development. What advice or any key recommendations would you give to aspiring tech leaders who want to make their mark in this space?
Tech leaders in this space, I think the most important advice is to keep learning. Myself, in this domain, almost every day I run into new concepts, new tools, new technology that is evolving. So keep your eyes open on how technology is evolving. Be ready to unlearn what you know and relearn something new. I think this is a very important formula for success in the future.
Absolutely. I think that should be the mantra for all, to unlearn and then be open to learning new things, because every day is a new opportunity, like they say. But I'm
Right.
sure today our listeners and viewers have a lot to take away from this session. So, Mr. Khalaf, thank you so much for joining us today and agreeing to do this with us.
You are most welcome. It was a pleasure.
And I look forward to connecting with you again and having more such conversations.
I welcome that anytime.